So one thing I want to talk about today is how you hold your axe. We're going to get to the other part of this video. These are just basic things, I think. When you're holding your axe, you want it tight to the handle. This is where the weight is. This is what you got to control. This is the important. If you're holding your axe like this, you're doing yourself a disservice. And if you have a dog, I'm not sure if you can see. Come here, buddy. Come here, bud. You don't listen? Come here, buddy. Hey. Oh, you want to run away? Well, anyway. That's how women treat me. It's dangerous for the dog. Even holding your axe like this is kind of dangerous for the dog. I try to hold it like this when the dog is around, or like this or like that. It is a little more dangerous for me when I'm doing this, but I would be scared of the dog kind of pointing his head up while he's running by, and he could skate through this edge, and that would be really awful. I don't want to hurt my dog, so I try to be safe. He does run around, so the reason why we got this camera set up, so the reason why we got this camera set up, I've never seen anybody else talk about getting rid of mold or fungus in your firewood stack. I found a really good way to do it. Go ahead, bud. Yeah, buddy. See, I also don't want him to be around me when I'm swinging. I don't want the dog around me when I'm swinging. It's dangerous. So a really good way of doing this. Before I was just kind of wiggling them around and pulling them out, and now that worked, but it wasn't as easy as this. Let me show you. So this has a little bit of fungus on it. This one has a little. This one's real small. This one will come out easy. So you see that? Easy as pie. And you see, so we could salvage this. All that has fungus in it is sapwood. So we'll take this off and we'll keep the heartwood and we'll burn the stuff without fungus. Now, why do you remove the fungus? Well, I cook with this firewood, so I don't want to introduce that into food. You might also want to think about this if you're heating indoors. You really don't want to be burning spores and all that funky stuff. See how easy that is? And sometimes this stuff is really stuck in there. This is a great tool for it. So check that out. Once again, all I had to do is just remove the sapwood, and I got all this good stuff here. So there's not going to be fungus just in the sapwood, but immature, I guess, rot in a log or a firewood split is usually just the sapwood that's affected, especially with oaks like white oak or red oak. And so I'm just needing to remove a little bit. Basically, okay, so you can see the spalting here. Basically, you just don't want to be seeing any spalting. So it'll end at about the sapwood usually. This is red oak, which rots pretty readily. It's not very rot resistant. So I'll just remove that sapwood. I'll burn that in a pit, and I'll burn the rest in my smoker. Just do a little more. Let's get rid of everything we can. Similar thing to produce. I'm trying to remove the bad apples so the rot doesn't spread. It will anyway, but hopefully it slows it down. This one is just starting to get fungus right here. The firewood pile will probably settle down, but you can always, knock stuff around and see if you can get it to kind of settle a little. Whoopsies. Alright, so we got any others? Yeah, right here. Now maybe that stack is a little loose because I was already removing stuff. But trust me, this makes it real easy. Here's another one. So that one was in there a little more. And what I did is I just pulled hard on it. Another one. So that one messed up the fire a little. What we'll do, we'll just throw it on top. Punch in these. Whoops. Looks like we got a little hanger. Kind of dangerous to put your hand in there. I wouldn't advise that. Beautiful piece of firewood right here. So that's it. That's pretty much it. And if you want less mold and less, let me say this to the camera. Let me say this to your face. If you want less mold, if you want less fungus, you need airflow. Sun can help, but really what you need is airflow. That's going to make sure that your firewood isn't wet in certain places. Another thing that'll help, and this is real annoying unless it's the right season, taking that bark off. Did you see how the bark was where it started? That's because it's wet. It traps that moisture in, and there's not a ton of airflow here. So that's just what I got to deal with. A little bit of rotting. Not too bad though. So I just realized a big oversight while editing this. You can cover the firewood too, but you don't want to cover the sides. That's the whole point of the fence hurting the airflow. You want to cover the top if you're going to cover your firewood. And that's pretty much it. Mold, can get killed by the sun, and you're hoping that eliminating moisture will get rid of the fungus as well. This is what I got to remove. You can see the color difference, and it's a little more punky. The sapwood has a little more punk to it. A little jammed up here. I don't know why I don't just move that, but we don't need to. So check this out. I went a little into the heartwood, and it snapped off like that. Now what's holding this together is bark, actually. As you can see, if I can actually do it, so you can see the spalting, and that's what we're getting rid of. And you can see it ends around, well, here it ends here, but over here it ends a little further down, so the grain dips. So let's see if we can get this off. Nope, gotta go to the other side. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. So now we got a clean piece of wood. Not too worried about using it now that all the spalting, which is just a fungus, is gone.